We arrived in Perth and greeted by rainbows and fantastic sunsets. Thanks, Remy, for letting us use your house. We caught up with some old friends and some new ones. I said goodbye to my travel partner for a couple of weeks as she headed back to Melbourne and began the solo part of the journey. Since we've already traveled over 10,000 Ks and many more Ks ahead of us, I took it to Van Master Repairs to have it serviced. They had me up and running and ready to go in no time, and I was back on the road headed north. Quick pit stop at the Windmill Roadhouse, and yes, they do have a windmill. A friend recommended we stop in Cervantes and pay a visit to the Lobster Shack. We did a tour of the facilities and see their operations, which was pretty cool. We got to see a pretty big lobster. Man, doesn't he look tasty? I even got to hold the old fella. Do you want to come home with me? Not sure he was too happy. I left Cervantes, headed north towards Jurien Bay, and I stayed just above Jurien Bay at a place called Sandy Cape. This is a beautiful spot right on the beach. Good sized campground with lots of spots. You don't need to pre-book. You just turn up and pay on the day. They got great beaches and lots of dunes, and it was a good place to stay for the night. Oh yeah, and I enjoyed lobster that I picked up in Cervantes. The next day I was back on the road headed north towards Geraldton. Thanks for the reminder on which side of the road to drive on. I stopped in Port Denison for a late lunch before headed to Geraldton. In Geraldton, I stayed at a free camp for the night, which was really convenient to town. The next morning, I took the van into Tire Power to have new tires fitted on to make sure we're good for the next leg of the journey. The roof of the van was too high to get in the shop, so they did the tires outside under the sunlight. Within a couple hours, they had me back up and running with new tires on Eleanor, and we were back on the road headed north.